Well, now it's time for Groom's Gossip. Let's give a warm welcome to Jenny Taylor from Jenny Taylor Boudoir, Joe Reyes from Action Booth, and Josh Kercher from Sebastian Gray. And then my groom of a few months, David Heiner. Come on, audience, let's hear it for him. Yeah. Well, this is Groom's Gossip, and we're going to get down to some details. But first, you know, everyone always asks about that dress. We talked about it in the look. But to David, you were just as fancy as I was. You wanted to walk down the aisle in style.
I was a little needy.
Let's take a look at that.
I mean, ultimately, like, the way that you look is pretty important, and you can do one of two things. I mean, you can have the guys kind of match you, and so you have visual continuity there, or you can kind of play off of that too. Remember, like, I showed you guys my wedding photos where I had that kind of like violet purplish kind of suit, and the guys had the light gray, and that looks good too.
Yeah, doing something like a navy suit, but I don't want to be too matchy-matchy with the actual wedding, so...
For example, like, I really love a jacket like this navy, with a really light gray slack, and something like, you know, something like that. You know, those two colors together
looks really sharp.
Really nice, right?
Yeah.
Now, you just have to decide, like, is that look appropriate for the venue and the wedding?
And then the reception's Lacuna Lofts.
Oh, good.
So it is kind of more artsy hipster type.
So I possibly look at doing, to think about the timing of it, is you could make a suit out of that blue that we want, and then have a secondary pair of trousers made in just something like light gray.
That's a fantastic idea.
If we work that out.
That way we can have the backup in case. Hold on. That's a really good idea. That's fantastic. Let's do it that way.
Yeah, do it that way?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Cool.
Good night. Cool, man.
Thanks a
Good
lot
to see you again. Thanks so much. Take care.
So Josh, you're the owner of Sebastian Gray, and you're here in Chicago. Why custom suits? Why is this the new thing?
It's a great question. And actually, it's even more than a trend. There's a little bit of a movement in guys getting just as much attention as the girls nowadays. And it's nice, actually, I'll say, because obviously not only for business, but women for years have had all the money spent on them for the brides, you know, or the gowns and stuff, and rightfully so. But guys nowadays, over the past few years, with style being glorified, with the GQs and the Esquires of the world, and movies being made around style, things like that, guys are starting to too. And one thing that helps it is companies like us, we can really drive down the cost of what these items that used to be unreachable for the average guy. You know, most guys assume that it's going to be over $1,000 or $1,500, and a lot of what we made David was extremely affordable. You know, upwards of only $500 or $600 for a suit, and I think that's very attainable for a lot of guys. So now you have guys that are looking amazing, you know, in the wedding, and that's important. I think people should make room in their budgets for that. Because if you think about it, your photos are what's going to last a really long time, and if everybody looks really amazing in the photos, then that's one of the things that you get to remember for a really long time.
You don't want a frumpy looking groom, and David was not that. David, one of the things that you mentioned is that when you get a custom suit, you can sneak in something else.
Yeah, so the pants, the extra pants, are crucial to get. You didn't know this at the time, but I did order a second pair of pants, which I'm actually wearing today, which complemented the jacket that I wore the day of the wedding in a perfect way. The other piece that I did, which was a surprise to you, was I got W plus D and then our wedding date embroidered in the collar, which was just a really cool piece. And I didn't know that was something you could even do, so Josh kind of coached me through that, and it was a fantastic addition and really customized and made me feel really special and good about the way I looked that day.
Yeah, no, I like that. I mean, that sounds funny, but I mean, we all want to look good on that day. And Susan, are the days of renting the tux versus buying the suit, is that over, or what are we talking?
Certainly guys have a lot more options now, and a custom suit is a great way to go. And you don't have to go with black. You can go with navy, you can go with gray, and I especially like David's a little hipster, so you got to tie in your own style. And the pocket squares are a great fun thing. Groomsmen gifts, put their name and a little message to them, or to a father of the bride, write, Dad, of all our walks, this is my favorite. Give it to them on the wedding day. So it's a way to customize and give them something that they'll use and keep and remember your wedding by.
Josh, do people ever get nervous, our grooms, that they aren't going to look fancy enough with wearing a suit? And what do you tell them if they do feel that way?
No, not really. Most guys, I don't think know that much about style, and so they're coming in. But unfortunately, it's true, I think. And so for me, in a way, it's actually kind of a fun process because I'm able to kind of break down that barrier of style and what it means. Because for the most part, guys don't think they're fashionable, and maybe that's true because fashion is sometimes about embellishments and things like that and going overboard, while style sometimes is just about the fit. And so we can show them what it takes to make something fit. You know, us taking 30 plus measurements, there's no way for it not to fit. I mean, it's going to be perfect. And that's one of the things that makes guys like David, you know, feel so amazing. Like you said, you felt like $1 million that day because everything was just right. And as you said as well, I mean, looking at the different colors that you can do and all that stuff, and we have thousands of fabrics that guys can pick from, and it really lets them put their style, as you said. You know, you have some hipster in you, so you get to pick out whatever you want. Even though we went simple, not everyone does. Some people want a tuxedo like James Bond, you know, Daniel Craig, midnight blue with black satin. I mean, cool stuff
Why
like
not?
that. Why
Even
not?
a stripe, even a
Why
pinstripe.
not?
Yeah.
But you have those options, you know, and now it's affordable, and so I think that makes it a great option for guys.
That is awesome. Sebastian Gray is just growing. New York, too.
Yeah, that's right. We have 3 stores in Chicago and 1 really big one in New York City now.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Our next guest on the panel is Joe Michael Reyes from Action Booth. Now, Joe, Action Booth is in the Groom's Gossip segment, but it is known with the ladies too. I'm telling you, you are everywhere in Chicago, every event, you see people jumping around. Tell us about your concept.
Action Booth is a dynamic event photography company where we take pictures. We encourage people to jump up into photos because there's absolutely no way to look sad when you're up in the air in a photo. Everybody's looking happy, and then everybody sees it around you because we project our images on TVs, and we're handing them out to people on prints, and we can shoot them out to any type of social media that you need, all within like one press of the button.
So, Action Booth, just to break it down, if someone has not seen you, which I'd be shocked, but you say 1, 2, 3, jump, and people jump.
Yeah, absolutely.
And even in dresses, like people were doing this at our reception.
Grandma jumped up and down for it.
Yes, your grandmother did jump up and down for it. And you know, Susan, you recommended something with Action Booth is they print the pictures right away. So you said do that as a unique guest book.
Yes, absolutely. So when they jumped up and down, and I think Action Booth is so unique because most people have not seen a photo of themselves in the air. Your hair is up, your smile's up, it is just a very different look and feel. But then print them out, have a book right there, guests can sign next to their photo and maybe write like, hey, check me out, you know, great hair, and a little message to the bride and groom, and then you have a very fun instant keepsake, they get a photo. It is something I think is new and cutting edge and definitely different. And the adrenaline starts rushing. When they jump up in the air, it is an instant party.
You know, it was pretty cool after people did the jumping around. It kind of lightened the mood, and it kind of set the tone to this is going to be a really fun night. And I'm really glad that we had Joe and his team there for sure.
It was really neat because with the holidays rolled around right after our wedding, so we got cards in the mail. And a lot of people used the Action Booth photo.
Oh, that's amazing.
I know, it was so cute. We're like, oh, that was at our wedding too. So it was such a neat way because then people get the picture. They can put it wherever they want to on social media or use it for a holiday card.
Yes. We love when we find out people are using it for really weird stuff. Like my friends find it on dating websites all the time.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh,
I gotta tell you, there is something the way you look when you're in the air. Everybody looks good.
yeah, it is really neat. I know that we have some of these pictures playing right now as we're talking about it, and I'm sure people are just like, what is going on? And really, that is just the concept. 1, 2, 3, jump.
Yeah, that's all it is. I mean, people are pretty hesitant at first, but it's kind of like karaoke. Once you get one person doing it, it spreads. It's pretty viral within the whole event.
See, that's the one thing that I think was missing at our wedding, karaoke. Susan.
Oh, let's do it again. Let's do it again.
Well, thank you so much, Joe.
Thank you very much.
Okay, our next guest, Jenny, you actually made David's groom's gift.
Thank you.
You're
by the
welcome.
way.
Yes.
Before you both say anything else, let's take a look at that experience.
I think I'm blushing right now.
I would be blushing too, but Jenny makes everything so comfortable.
Oh, thank you.
So Jenny, tell us about Jenny Taylor Boudoir.
We specialize in boudoir and beauty photography, where we guarantee we transform the everyday woman into a bombshell. So we do the one-stop shop, full hair and makeup, help with posing, wardrobe, everything you can imagine, and then we make these awesome custom books to give as like groom's gifts.
And it's an all-female staff.
Absolutely.
Really, it was comforting because you told me that your grandma actually came in and took pictures. Now, she didn't take boudoir photos because she, because she wasn't comfortable with that. But that's what was nice. You told me to come in and be as comfortable as I wanted to.
That's very important. Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people, when they hear the word boudoir, they think of, oh, I have no idea how I'm going to get in this lingerie, but they want these gorgeous pictures. So what we do that's so unique is you can bring in like a nice dress, or what you did, and you brought in like that cute flannel outfit with your boots, and you really customize it for something that would be special for you guys. So we really try to listen to see what's important and then kind of fulfill on that wish.
So let's talk about some fears people might have about doing boudoir photos. Because I know whenever, being from the South, I told my mom, she was like, what are you doing?
Oh, me too.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
For one, you don't sell the photos.
No, not at all.
I was clearing the air.
No, and we are very private, actually. If our clients ask, like you, not to be put online or for a certain time, we don't do that.
Yeah, so you don't sell the photos, you have all female staff, and really you are the reason people can get comfortable. Talk about how you do make people feel comfortable.
I try to be funny. I'm not most of the time, but I try. So that kind of, I think, takes the pressure off of you and the clients to like come in and be like, oh, she's kind of silly and ridiculous, so I can like let loose. And the other thing I hear a lot of the time is, I don't know how to be sexy and I don't know how to do those facial expressions. I'm like, don't even worry, I don't either. And then all of a sudden I have these tricks and tips that get these, get these awesome expressions that I'm sure you saw that are like, oh my gosh, I have a sexy face.
Right. Well, what was neat is you kind of made me laugh at different times because you were like, oh, imagine David's walking in. I was like, and you're like, Whitney, no, make it look pretty and cute. Yeah, I was like, hey. So that's what was really fun about that. Those were some good icebreakers. And what was really neat about my experience coming in is you did say you did transform me. I'm used to my normal hair and makeup team that makes me look very Whitney Reynolds show ready.
And you look like a bombshell when you were in there.
You made me with pink and wild teased hair. I mean, it was wonderful. It was kind of an out of normal experience, you know? So it was really great. David, what did you think?
Loved it.
Awesome.
Fantastic. I think that's all I need to say.
Okay, thank you.
But one of my favorite pictures was the Sidney Crosby jersey.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's one of the, and that's very
Here's a
conservative.
Pittsburgh Penguin hockey player.
Very conservative. Very
Yeah.
popular now.
You can wear just a jersey and whatever else you want to wear, and it
So
looks
really feel comfortable in anything that you bring. Anything, just cute undies even if you want to, or just a full jersey. And that's so special for grooms too. You bring in their favorite sports team, and like you said, it's your favorite. I
Does
know.
the trick.
Yeah, exactly.
One idea I've had about that is make that a bridal party activity. Is the bride and all her maids meet there, you doll them up, they take fun photos, and that can be a gift to them. Bring some champagne and it's a party.
Oh, so even taking it a step further, taking it to all the bridesmaids, that could be so much fun. Another thing you suggested is I had this book made for David. It was really neat because Jenny wanted to be there whenever I was looking at it for the first time, because you actually pick out all the photos. We gave you our favorites, but then you said, okay, I'm going to design this, and you let your creativity just flow with it. But then on top of it, Susan, you said when you give it to him, make sure to leave a sweet note.
Yes.
And give it to him the night before. Is that what a lot of brides are doing?
I think it's nice if the bride and groom can exchange a little love note prior to the wedding. It brings it back to why we're all here in the first place.
That is so true, and it's sometimes easy to lose sight of that the
Yes.
week of. Well, thank you so much, Jenny. So now it's time for Twitter to weigh in with another question. This one is from @djex. This one is for David. Okay, David, being the groom, did you weigh in on many decisions?
Yes, I did. I think there were two main decisions the day of that I really wanted to incorporate. One was just a fun drink that we could kind of tailor make and make our own. I wanted to kind of cater it to our honeymoon, which was in Costa Rica. So we did a tequila drink, which was tequila Avion. It was fantastic.
Right, so they made a custom cocktail, and that way it was at cocktail hour. We called it the Costa Rican, and it was so much fun. That was a great idea.
Yeah. And then the second, which was really important to me, was how we were actually going to leave the church and get to the actual reception. We worked with Global Luxury Imports. We got a really, really nice Rolls Royce,
Sweet ride.
which made us feel like another time, $1 million. It was so much fun.
And I love that the guy opened the door and all that kind of stuff. It was very nice.
And we had to stop by Caribou Coffee on the way, which
Because that is where we met.
He was nice enough to do a little pit stop along the way.
Well, that is wonderful. Susan, how would you suggest keeping grooms involved? Because, you know, are you mainly working with the brides in this whole process?
It depends on the wedding, but the groom's input is always welcome, and we try to ask them the right questions to find out what their hot buttons are. And that can be anything from music to food to booze, but really it's finding out what's important. And you were also very important on the timing of things and the photos, and getting your opinion you got to ask the right questions to find out what the guys care about.
He was the money man, the money and sense man. That's
right.
what he weighed in.
That's right.
Well, our next question comes from Chi-Town Star Khan. And how do you relax during wedding mode? And we have our expert in the studio audience with us. However, I'm going to answer that because I have found this to just flow over in all areas of life is laughter. And I did not get more laughs than whenever I had my bridesmaid luncheon at Flirty Girl Fitness.
Yes.
We had Sal's Deli bring in sandwiches. We had just the best time swinging around on poles and being goofy girls together. And just, it was so much fun. And my mother came, your mother came, and it was
Grandma came.
Grandma came again. See, Grandma, yeah.
She's everywhere.
She is, and it was really just so much fun, and we were able just to joke around and really have a memory that not only made us laugh then, but made us laugh even to this day. Yeah, who knew my mom could get so low?
My name is Lisa Marie Varon, also known as Tara on Impact Wrestling, also formerly known as Victoria from WWE, and I'm here to give advice to the lovely Whitney on her future endeavors in her marriage. The most important thing is honesty, and honesty is, if you can be honest with your mate, everything is cake, and also a great sense of humor, and also being very, very, very patient with each other. So that's my advice, or else be a disastrous marriage. But, you know, I've been married almost 18 years, so I'm doing something right, I think.